So you saw that very big skull at the end of Fallout's first season, and you wondered, what exactly is that thing? I'm Mark from Digital Dissection, and today I'm here to break down the lore behind Fallout's apex predator, the Deathclaw. Of the many irradiated beasts of Fallout, there's one that reigns supreme over the rest, and oddly enough, they were originally meant to replace humans on the battlefield. Before the bombs dropped in 2077, the former United States government set out to develop a suitable proxy to fight wars for its soldiers. This involved creating a highly formidable foe that could change the tide of close-quarters combat and search and destroy style of missions. While advancements were already created in the Fallout universe like power armor and fast advancing robotics, one experiment involved manipulating the DNA of a fairly harmless creature, Jackson's chameleon, as it was genetically altered to stand on two legs, as opposed to being on all fours. However, despite this fact, Deathclaw have been observed running on all four limbs, making them a challenge in combat whether at close or long range. Aspects of its physical attributes also borrow from alligators, bulls, panthers, and lizards, according to artist and designer Jonah Loeb. Its namesake, though, is easily one of its most horrifying attributes, as the Jackson's chameleon's hands aren't exactly fear-inducing, and US scientists altered its genome to include 5 essential fingers, ending in massive sharp claws capable of ripping enemy combatants into pieces. What really makes the Deathclaw formidable was their ability to follow basic instructions, and their possible usage on the battlefield could have turned the tides of warfare. Before the bombs fell in 2077, however, there's no documentation known of them being used as they were intended. Instead, when the Great War began, Deathclaw experiments actually escaped from their testing facilities, and they would quickly spread across the entire continental United States. Typically, Deathclaw are pack animals, and they will follow 2 alphas, a male and a female. And once settled, they are impossible to move, requiring a complete extermination of the areas they inhabit, or by killing its den mother in hopes that they'll thin out naturally. They will avoid noisy areas and dense human populations. But they were witnessed occupying abandoned warehouses in former Los Angeles, known as the Boneyard, as well as Quarry Junction in New Vegas. Their noticeable intelligence that we mentioned earlier, however, would continue to grow depending on the circumstance, as it was estimated that some Deathclaw had the capabilities of a human 8-year-old brain, and after escaping their original homes, this would continue to escalate from here. Post-war, the Deathclaw were reclaimed by the remnants of the US government called the Enclave, as their experimentations would continue on captured specimen in the wild, as they would create mind control technology fully capable of using Deathclaw in field operations. It also appears that Enclave personnel performed Deathclaw experiments in at least the American Southwest and Appalachia, as Appalachian Enclave scientists noticed aspects of Deathclaw genetics mirroring their own in Fallout 76. Within the world of Fallout 2, Deathclaw expanded into an actual society after Enclave experimentation, injecting them with the forced evolutionary virus, a compound developed by Westech that can rewrite DNA and enhance organisms' physical strength, growth, and even grant psychic abilities in some cases. The community of Deathclaws grew their own norms and the ability to fully speak, showing that Deathclaw could become sentient. But due to these observations, humanity found them too dangerous to survive, and as such, all Deathclaw of above-average intelligence were wiped out, according to Fallout writer Chris Avallone. What's harder to ascertain, however, is the status of whether this was the only source of highly intelligent Deathclaw, as Fallout 1's antagonist, the Master, captured many of them and performed similar enhancements of his own with the forced evolutionary virus. This experimentation supposedly led to more capable and effective Deathclaws in terms of physical abilities and genetic design. But little is known about this group and whether they've incorporated into the larger Deathclaw populations. What's consistent, however, is that these massive creatures continue to evolve and become increasingly more dangerous as time goes on. Across several video games, they can on average grow 10 to 15 feet in height, and some can weigh well over 1,000 pounds. Some have even been able to develop the ability to change their skin color, and develop immunities to radiation, making them even more formidable than they already were. If there's one thing that's true across the world of Fallout, Deathclaw are walking executioners, and the next one you come across could be the last one you end up seeing. And with that, we hope you enjoyed this exploration of Deathclaws in the Fallout series. Stay tuned for more Fallout stories on this channel, and follow this playlist for more weekly content. And until next time, pop culture nerds, keep on dissecting.